Hello guys, Reborn here, and today I have my ban list prediction video for you guys. Now today I'm going to be talking about the certain cards that I think are going to come off the ban list, are going to come on the ban list, or semi-limited, or limited. Now let's start off with what I think is going to get limited. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Danko. Oh, so many bad things to talk about Danko. Well, the reason I think this card is going to get limited is simply because how good it is in Shadows, and how good it is against every other deck that has back row. Now, if you guys don't know what Danko is, it's a card that states why you have no set cards on your field and your opponent has set cards, they cannot set cards or activate set cards. So what this card is saying is you cannot activate your set cards. So say I'm a player that runs heavy back row, draw 5 back row cards, set them turn 1, and then someone Danko me. From then on, I would lose. So the reason I think Danko is going to get hit is because it's a very big floodgate card that is too good right now. It's been in the format since, new challenges? So I think the card would be hit around this time. That's mainly the reason why I think it's going to get hit around now. Next, which I think is going to get limited, is either Senju or Manju of the 10 and 1000 X. The reason I think one of these two is going to get hit is simply because of how much power they generate for Necros. They hit Brio. I can see one of these two getting hit. Not both of them, one of them. Simply because the fact that they can search, it would most likely be Manju, seeing as it allows them to search out a spell or a trap. But either one could get hit, and Necros would die down a bit. Seeing as the top tier deck of the meta, they're obviously going to hit in some way or form. And I find that Manju is going to be the most likely way. Manju or Senju is going to be the most likely way they're going to hit. So next, Magical Library, Royal Magical Library. Now the reason I think this card's going to get hit is purely because it generates too many OTKs. It generates the Chicken Race OTK, which is really strong. It generates Exodia OTKs, which is really strong. So I feel like this is going to get limited right now because Chicken Race mainly is coming, because Chicken Race is coming out. But I feel like that's the main reason why it's going to get limited. Also because of, it should have got hit a long time ago in my opinion, but it never did. Okay, next, El Shadow Construct. Oh, this is basically because they need to hit Shadows in some way or form, and it's either going to be this or Shadow Fusion, which I'll come to later. But this is the most likely outcome because Shadow Construct is very powerful and should have been hit a few formats ago, but they never did. So I find that they're going to hit it now. So, and the last card that I think is going to get limited is Instant Fusion. Now, the reason I think Instant Fusion is going to get hit is purely because of Nodin and because of stuff that it should have been hit a long time ago. The same as Magical Stone Royal Magical Library. It generated OTKs, and right now the reason they would probably do it is because of Nodin coming out. So I could see Instant Fusion getting limited to 1 simply because of Nodin and all of that other stuff. Okay, now on to things I think is going to get semi-limited. Now, the first thing I think is going to get semi-limited is Star Seraph Scepter, as everybody calls him, Styx. The reason I think this is going to get hit is because the Seraph Injured is too strong. It needs to get hit in some way, and I don't think they're going to hit chairs. They're probably going to hit the stick just to slow down the Injured a bit. So I think that's why what they would hit. But I think they would hit. Might hit. I don't know for definite, but they might hit sticks just to slow down Shadow Seraphs. And because of how good the card is, how good the engine is right now, it needs to be slowed down in some way. Next, moving on to Tellarknights getting hit. Yes, I feel like it's Altair that would be hit. If they hit really anything else, it would probably kill the deck as it is. So I would see them hitting Altair to 2, simply because the card, if they hit anything else in the deck would die. But if they could hit Altair to 2, it wouldn't be that as bad for the deck, but it would still hurt the deck in a way. And the reason I think they would do it is because Altair is the wolf bark of the deck. It allows you to generate the potential that it needs to go on and forth because of the way Tellarknights have been working so far is normal summoned Altair, summon Deneb from grave, Deneb effect, search Altair. So that would really slow it down a bit, and it would make it a bit more fair. I find that it would slow it down quite a bit. Next, I think Scum of the Burning Abyss. Now, last ban list we saw Tour Guide go. Now, Tour Guide shouldn't have been the thing that got hit. I feel that it shouldn't have been the thing that got hit simply because it didn't need to be hit. It really didn't. What really needed to be hit was one of the 3 main Burning Abyss. Scum, Graf, or the other one that summons. Brow, I think. One of those cards should have been hit. So I found that Scum would be the most likely to be hit because it's the searcher of the deck. It would slow down the deck it would slow down the deck a little, not killing the deck, and it should be hit. Graf, or Scum is going to get hit. One of those 3. Next, Shuttle Fusion. Now, Shuttle Fusion's probably going to get hit simply because it's the main card of the deck. It won't kill it if they hit it too because they still have L Shuttle Fusion, and it's the main card of the deck that makes them so good. Simply because if they use Shuttle Fusion, they can send 2 from deck to grave if your opponent has an extra deck monster on field. So I can see it getting hit purely because it's one of the best cards in the deck. Next card I'm going on to cards that I think are going to come off the ban list. So first, I think, as always, in my predictions, Elemental Hero Stratos. Now, this card should have never been hit. Let's be honest, guys. Elemental Hero Stratos should have never, ever been hit. The whole reason it got hit is because they wanted to die down heroes a bit, but I find that they shouldn't have hit it. So I say bring back Stratos to I can see them bringing it back to 1. So let's see if they do, because that's what I think they would do. It also allows us to be able to use Divine Wind and that new Masked Hero coming out, the Wind one. So they could bring it back simply because of those reasons. Next card, Dark Magician of Chaos. Now this card could come back with its errata. Now listen to these words. It could come back with its errata. Now, the reason it could come back with its errata is because of the OCG got it unbanned with its errata, and I find like it could get reprinted in the new set, the new Battle Pack set. Wait, no, not Battle Pack set, sorry, Duelist Pack set. So I could see it getting reprinted in that and getting its errata. Same with the next card I'm going to say is going to come with the ban list, Chaos Emperor Dragon. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Oh my God, this card's too broken. If it comes back, it'll break the game. Well, if you think about it, the card doesn't actually break the game. It puts you in a top decking situation. So it's new errata, I believe. I haven't actually looked this up in a while, but it used to stay with its old errata, but now it goes with it. It goes with everything else. So I think this card could come back with its errata, but only if we get it reprinted in the Battle Pack, the Battle City Duelist Pack set, which will be coming out soon. Now moving on to spells that I think are going to get unbanned. Now, first of all, this spell is a card that everybody should know. Everybody knows that it's come off and on the ban list several times, and that is Monster Reborn. Yes, Monster Reborn I think could come back simply because it's a card that jumps off and on the ban list, and we ain't had it off the ban list for a while, so I feel like this could be the time when Konami could actually bring it off the ban list for one format, because it's a card that's come off and on the ban list several times, so I could see them bringing it back simply because of that. Now on to the last cards that I think are going to come off the ban list. Now, it's one of these two. I think either Heavy Storm or Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, you guys, you think, oh no, Giant Trune is going to come off. No, Giant Trune couldn't come off first. I'm just going to get that out of the way. The reason that couldn't come off is because the Tellarknights and the floodgates they use. If they used Giant Trune, they could get all the cards back. Now let me get on the reasons why I think Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster could come back. Now the reason I think Heavy Storm could come back is simply because it would make people set less back row. And in the back row heavy decks, people would be more wise with how they place their back row. So I feel like Heavy Storm could come back to that. And the same reason with Harpy's Feather Duster, but we got Raigeki back. That's the only reason I have for Harpy's Feather Duster. We got Raigeki back. That's the only absolute reason. So, And the another reason for one of these two cards coming back is because of Pendulum. We need a quick way to get rid of it, and also with the Floodgates in the Cleese, we kind of need it. Because if they get that lose a turn and skill drain on the board, we kind of lose. So I could actually see it coming back purely because heavy Floodgate cards, a lot of back row in the format, simply because of those reasons. Okay, now stuff on the limited list, which I think could go to 2. So first of all, I think Book of Moon. Now the reason I think Book of Moon could go to 2 is because it's been on the limited list for so long and so many people have been asking this, bring back Book of Moon to 2. Plus, I've not really been seeing much people using it in my opinion, so I find out that this card isn't really that great, and Konami could easily bring it back to 2. It's not that great a card anymore. Sure, it allows you to disrupt to play one play, but that's only for a turn, and they could easily blow you out next turn. So I could find Book of Moon coming back to at least 2. It's just my prediction. Next, Monster Gate. Now, the reason I think Monster Gate could come back is because Infernoids have the hype, and it's really the only reason why. Monster Gate's been a card that's been on the ban list for limited list for quite a while now, and they could actually bring it back very easily. It's just Konami have chosen not to. So I find that this would be the perfect time to bring it back because of the Infernoid hype and all of that. So next is a trap card that everybody's wanted, Compulse. Now the reason I think Compulse could come back is because nobody uses it. Absolutely no one I know uses it. It's simply a card that compulses 1 to hand. That's it. 1 monster goes back to hand. It's not even that good. Sure, you can use it against, say, a 101 or something, but we've got new outs to that, so we don't need Compulse anymore. Most decks don't even touch the card. It could come back to 2. I think this card could come back to 2. Now next, another one-offs, so one of these two cards is D-Fissure or Macrocosmos. Now, Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos, one of these could go to 2 purely because of Infernoids, Talonites, Shadows, Lightsworn, so many archetypes. Basically, this is to help anti-meta in my opinion. The anti-meta type of decks need a boost, and I find that one of these two cards coming back could actually give them the boost they need to be better. So I could see these cards coming back just to boost one of the anti-metas, and also all these decks that are just too good and need to be stopped in ways. Macro could come back, or D-Fissure, just because of those reasons. Oh, it's an interesting fact about Macrocosmos, you can solemn warning it. But yeah, one of these two cards could come to 2. Not both of them, I don't think both of them could come back to 2. But one of the two could, just in my opinion. And finally, a card that it should have came to 3 as soon as Rulers were banned, Dragon's Ravine. Not even going to go into explaining that, just should have came back to 3 when Dragon Rulers were banned. So that's it, guys. Tell me what you thought of my ban list prediction video. Tell me if you thought my ideas were good, or maybe some of these could get unbanned. And please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I'll be seeing you next time, guys. Bye.